Welcome everybody to the Fourshade Studios podcast number 31.
31.
I'm I'm Brock Ferguson, and joining me from all across the world is
Blake!
And Devin.
We're here. We're back. Episode 31.
It's been a while. There's been some things going on, but we're back now.
the haters said it would never happen.
We proved them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us.
So really, the tons of things that happened boils down to one thing that happened because literally nothing else happened at all. Besides a little game, which has its origins on the N64, and it's grown with us throughout the years. And today we now are finding our new horizons in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Beautiful.
Boom.
Well worded. Almost brought a tear to my eye, bringing back my childhood memories.
So yeah,
So
Animal
it's out.
Crossing has been out 1 week.
Yep, 1 week. These are our 1 week reflection on it.
Boy, howdy, is it great.
That's your review.
Yeah, that's it.
Put it on the box.
Good night.
Boy, howdy, it's great. Devin.
Yeah.
It's-
IGN gave it a 8.75. Devin gave it a boy
Great.
howdy. It's
Boy,
great.
howdy, it's great.
It's totally tubular.
It's totally Kyle.
Gnarly. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. But maybe we should have more structure other than just talking about like what's great about it.
Okay.
Brock, bring us
You
Save
are
us,
so-
Brock.
Brock, bring us some structure into this.
Devin, you're blowing the mic out, so let's
Yes.
stop that.
Okay, I'll back up. I'm sorry.
So
Set
I
the
think-
chair on the table on top of the mic.
So we've all played Animal Crossing since its first American release on the GameCube, I think, right?
No.
I have.
No?
No.
Okay.
When did you start playing?
The first time I played it was New Leaf,
New Leaf?
but I've watched other people play it.
Okay, well, you're a noob.
I know.
Apparently.
Anyway.
But yeah, Blake and I've dumped a good amount of hours into the older games, and I think really all I was expecting was literally Animal Crossing again. I didn't have to add anything, and Animal Crossing is a time sink. That was like the baseline here. That I was hoping for. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird how it is a time sink because for me it's always like in previous titles I haven't played for very long in a sitting, but over time I always do play for like total hours a ton of time.
I'm the opposite.
Right.
I feel like I never sit down and play it for like long periods of time. Any game. But like this one, since I'm on spring break, I've just been like putting a disgusting amount of hours
Yeah.
into
You,
this game.
you just jumped straight through my transition.
Yeah.
So,
Again, she
So-
hasn't played the old ones, so we can't
I'm
talk about the
sorry.
old ones.
so I think from the very beginning, the thing that stuck out to me the most is the fact that this is Animal Crossing and your daily routine is the same, but somehow they have managed to grow it from being a 30 minutes a day game and then there's nothing else to do to the fact that I've had it on 8 hours every single day since it's come, and I keep having stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm absolutely flabbergasted by that.
yeah. And that's how I am too. And that's kind of what the point I was getting at is like in the other games, I played for short durations of time because you get to a point in a day in like the GameCube version where there's just literally nothing to do. Like, and especially for me, for some reason, I would always play Animal Crossing uh, towards the later times of the day. So my shop would be closed, and really once I got like a full like inventory of fish, I was like, okay, now what? Like I can go talk to my villagers, but like that the kind of charm that goes with that wears off really quick when there's not really much to do with them. And there's not a lot of
Right.
customization in the old games. So it's like it's just like, oh, I could wander around my town, but what's the point?
Right. The customization's limited to inside your house. And
Right.
then just getting the items, which there's only like a couple ways to get the items, which was the trash bin and Tom Nook and random gifts for your villagers.
Right. And then like on most days like nothing spectacular is going on in your town. There's no holidays. It's just kind of a regular day, so it's just like, well, I can shake my fruit trees. After that, I can go fishing. After that, what is there?
Yeah, and then you run out of inventory space, and then you literally can't do anything because your house is entirely fish.
Yep.
So, we know that's not what happens in New Horizons, and for me, like everything I'm gonna say past that is so far why I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
But Devin, you said you've been playing for exuberant amounts of time.
Like
Like,
8 hours a day, like you, like
Yeah.
all
so
afternoon.
what? Yeah, so what are you doing in New Horizons, or how is it different, or what keeps you going? I guess.
Um, well, this time I feel like I have a different objective than I did for past game. Well, New Leaf.
Let's go back.
um, oh, sorry. Um, like I actually want to try and make the town look nice. So
Yeah.
today I spent all of my time like organizing a lot of the trees. So having them line rivers and along the cliff sides, and I started putting all of our fruit trees in little orchard rows, and like every villager got two trees next to their house. And I also spent time like organizing flowers because I'm trying to get all the flower colors. And like we have this little heart-shaped lake in our town that I want to like line with all pink flowers. um what I'm saying is I have a vision.
Customization is what you spend a lot of time on.
I love customizing.
And this is the first one where you've actually been able to do that.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything. Yeah.
When it's just like the ease that you can, like, even in this one, like, move trees and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you can just dig them out of the ground and just place them
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. You don't have to chop a tree down, get rid of the stump, plant a tree in its place, like wait the however many days for a tree to grow back. It's just like a lot of stuff you can just do instantly.
Sure.
Along with putting like furniture outside, which this is the first title that you can do that, which is like it's extremely crazy.
Isn't that amazing? Like, I feel like I'm not like Evan, where I put fauna everywhere to make my town mine. I've been putting furniture places, like
Yeah.
trying to tell it furniture,
Mhm.
and it feels like I've done this in every Animal Crossing game prior, except I haven't.
Yeah, like
So now I have no idea what I was doing in the other games.
well, that's the thing. It's like in the other games you could kind of you could make custom patterns and put them on the ground to like make some semblance of like a path or a road or something. And like I saw some people that made custom tiles or patterns to like like make some sort of like a playground area or something, but everything was just two-dimensional, like on the ground. Like
No. In New Leaf, you could put like lighthouses and
I guess there was
fences.
that, but
It wasn't as vast of options as you could do in this game.
yeah. I guess what I was thinking of more is like I've seen I guess in like the older ones where you couldn't do some of the more customizing stuff is like people would literally just like draw pictures as their patterns and put those pictures on the ground
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
be like, oh, I have a little play set, but it was literally just like a 2D like slide that they drew.
Yeah.
yeah. And I love that you just said that because the first gift I got from my villager, just when he
Yeah,
comes up to you and says, "Hey, you're awesome,"
yeah.
was one of those little springy bright horses on a play.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
So what did I do? I made a custom sandbox tile, and I went and made myself a playground in my town. But
nice.
now, because I can like put objects out there, it like legit looks like a playground.
Right.
And there was 2 hours of my time.
And I think that is going to be kind of like what a lot of people are finding. Like you have and why people are going to be spending so much more time in this one than previous ones because you can like literally just go out to a plot of land with like a vision and just basically do it. Like you said, like my town needs a playground. Okay, well you can pretty much do it, or like, and it all depends on like at least I'm finding like the items that you randomly are picking up. Like you could randomly pick up like um I don't know, like a piece of like a baseball equipment or something, and then you'd be like, oh, well now my town needs a baseball field.
Hmm. Like I
Why are
randomly,
you reading my mind?
Yeah, like,
like I randomly found a podium, and I was like, oh well, they make announcements every day from like the town square. I'll just put it like roughly around
yeah,
where they make the announcement, and now they have like a little podium
right.
that they'll, yeah.
And like
And
we in our town, we were getting all of this kind of like bamboo furniture and like kind of like koi pondy stuff,
Mhm.
and we like have this area now that's like a bunch of bamboo and like
It's an outdoor bathhouse
yeah, it's
that I've created.
like we got this bathhouse piece of furniture and we just like surrounded it by bamboo and like this kind of ornamental fencing, and it just like
Mhm.
looks, it's like just because you get that one piece that like sparks something in your head where it's like, oh, like I would have never thought to do this until I got that one piece of furniture.
Yeah, my favorite part of that area is there's this bamboo noodle slide.
Oh yeah.
Brock, do you know what a noodle slide is?
no.
So, like, they cook noodles and then they put it down this water slide essentially for the noodles to cool, and you pick them up and eat them.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a type of tsukemen where like you dip the noodles in sauce. It's like
I don't know.
ramen without the with the noodles and the like broth separated.
Ooh, you're speak. I want to try this now.
Yeah. But anyway, we have a noodle slide, and when you interact with it, like a little thing of noodles
Yeah,
drops
you can actually
down.
see the noodles going down like this horizontal like bamboo. I don't know.
And I have two little
Nice.
stone seats set up to it so you can like eat at it.
We have like these stone lanterns that like just fit the perfectly. So,
Hmm.
like I said, like it's
Yeah,
just you could get that one piece of furniture and then this vision gets created in your head, which is awesome.
yeah. I like.
And you can actually
I like
play
that.
out your vision.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The fun of Animal Crossing earlier was getting the different items and having it spark something like just for your room, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I always tried to buy out the shop to get a full catalog, so in case I had an idea from a piece of furniture, I could buy other stuff
Right.
that matched it and then put that in my house.
Hmm.
But now you do that except everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is because a lot of the furniture you'd get in the older games was more geared towards like outdoor furniture,
Mm-hmm.
which I all of those pieces I would never usually put in my house because I just they felt like out of place to me. Like you'd get like
Yeah.
I remember there was this one set where the ground, the I guess the carpet is grass, and then
Yep.
the room is like the wallpaper is like clouds and stuff, and you can get like a whole outdoor set, like a grill and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be like, this just feels weird. Like this is an
Right.
outdoor set, but we're putting it inside.
Mm-hmm.
But now everything actually fits, and like you can literally put it anywhere, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I almost thought it was going to be a little bit more limiting based off the stuff, the promotional stuff that we were seeing, but like I haven't like run across like many places where you can't put something and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think it really builds on what I kind of see as one of the pillars of Animal Crossing, which is getting the items and, like you said, having a vision for it. But you've never actually been able to like do anything with most of the stuff that you put in your house or whatever. It's kind of like a giant play box or toy box. Like you think, oh, I'll put this umbrella here, and
Yeah,
it's there because I was having a picnic. Now you can't have a picnic or do anything with them,
Yeah.
right.
but you can put stuff and, like I said earlier, like tell a story through it. And that, I guess, your ability to expands greatly by doing it outside, I guess, and I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Plus, some of the items do actually interact in cool ways now, which I feel like was very limited before. Like, most things just show in my remembering.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what I have that actually does stuff.
My gumball machine puts out a gumball.
Oh yeah.
My typewriter, when I interact with it, it goes through a full line and then goes shing,
Oh,
which
that's
is
cool.
nice. Um, Stuff like that.
Yeah, like I haven't. The thing is, I haven't gotten too many items that um do anything that they have in older games.
Mm.
Like I got a guitar, and like I know in the older games, if you interact with it, it like plays a note. But I feel like that was already there. Um, but yeah, like the noodle slide that
Yeah.
has cool interaction. Um,
I don't know if the fish used to do this, but now you can turn on their little
oh, the light.
aquarium. Except for the football fish, instead of an aquarium light, its little light bulb on its head turns on.
Yeah, I like how the all the fish tanks are like different looking.
Yeah,
They're all in
depending on their
different containers
size.
and things.
Yeah. Like the goldfish, I thought was really special. They have them in these um like blue and white pattern like china
Yeah,
bowls or whatever with like little plants at the
like
bottom.
yeah, like ornate
Mhm.
little container. It's not just it's not like the typical like aquarium looking one.
Mhm.
They have a special one.
Uh, yeah, and I haven't figured that out because I haven't dropped fishing.
Right. Like the I caught a huge like oarfish or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
and it doesn't have like what you'd think of as like a little like glass aquarium. It
It's
has
like a
like a
pool, like an above
looks like
ground
a yeah
pool.
an above ground like pool. It's like so massive.
Nice.
And some of them are in like buckets, like
Yeah,
the tadpole.
yeah,
Okay. So I think we pretty well covered just item customization. Anything else on that?
No, well,
Nice.
kind of. I want to give them a big round of applause for getting rid of balloon furniture in the balloon presents and actually giving you useful stuff.
that is true.
And you can get a wide variety of stuff, which is kind of nice.
You can. There are a lot more balloons, I feel like, than there
Yeah,
used to.
yeah. That's what I was telling Devin the other day. Like I don't remember. it would be like a super rare occasion that I would see a balloon. And
Yeah.
like in New Leaf at least, when you shot down a balloon, the only thing it would drop was this set called balloon furniture, and it literally just looked like, when clowns or whatever make little balloon animals.
Yeah.
It was just furniture that looked like that, like a chair,
It was awful.
basically with a bunch of balloons tied up to make it look like a chair.
Nobody wanted that.
It was just like the ugliest, like the time it took and like the rarity of the balloons and the slingshot and all that, like it wasn't a good payoff. It like didn't feel
Right.
good getting that furniture.
Because you have to carry around the swing shot, which
Yeah, and it's
uses
just
up
like
inventory spot, and yeah,
it's like, oh, thanks, I got the ugliest piece of furniture, and it's like it doesn't even sell for that much. So it's just like
Like,
I would like I stopped caring about balloons because it was like,
yeah,
why would you?
I would only
right.
sell it. It's like, would you rather have a balloon chair or a noodle slide? I will take the noodle slide every day.
Yeah,
But sometimes it gives you bells, sometimes it gives you furniture, sometimes like materials you need,
yeah.
DIY
I got
recipes.
30,000 bells from a
Yeah.
balloon the other day.
Yep. So did I. I I actually, that's one of my complaints about the game is the balloons frequent, that they almost don't feel special anymore.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, I still get free stuff, so I still enjoy it. But at the same time, I remember the feeling of, oh, a balloon. I
yeah.
never see them.
I'd be interested to see kind of like what is on the, I don't know what you'd want to call it, like the loot table basically for the balloons. I'd like to see
Yeah.
like what percentage is like the 30,000 bell
Well,
present, or like,
I feel like that one's pretty rare. I haven't gotten that
yeah,
one.
or like what it's like a random piece of furniture is. And like I think it'd be interesting also to like investigate further, like I wonder if there's like a table of furniture, or like if you can get any random piece of furniture.
So far, it seemed like the latter. Like, I've gotten all sorts of random things. I do want to say, though, one of the days I had Animal Crossing running all 8 hours work, I probably shot down a good 15 to 20 balloons,
Oh
and
wow.
I'd say after 10 or so, it was all just like resources, and it was noticeably worse than like the first 5 balloons of the day. So I think that is a thing.
Yeah,
They
I
like
wonder if
nerf,
that factors in.
which is smart. Like that,
Yeah,
I didn't want 30 pieces of furniture all of that day. That
yeah.
would have been no fun.
Because yeah, it's like you said, like if they give you too many rewards, it does kind of diminish the whole novelty of the balloon.
Yep,
While we're at it, do we want to talk about the tools, the other tools? Anything to
sure.
say about those?
Um, they're perfect in every way because they require you to do something just to like keep playing the game, but it's not annoying enough to be annoying. So like jumping over the river, I still enjoy. I don't know why, I just do,
Yeah, it's like
and it makes me
super
feel like I'm
satisfying.
playing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like instead of just running around aimlessly. Oops, I went across the river. I don't need to do jump across the river again. And then, oh, there's fruit over there. Jump across the river instead of
right.
just running around.
I think
Like,
what makes the vaulting pole like
is that
like
what we're talking about?
yeah.
You don't just jump?
I think what makes it at least so like novel to me is like, because in other games you had to build a bridge or you couldn't get across somewhere, or like you had to completely like make this weird route around your town, and then like now it's just like, okay, if I want to get over there I can get over there. Yes, I have to take the time to like get this tool out and use it, but I think that's kind of penalty enough to be able to explore your town. I mean, like the whole point is like customization, exploration. Like you don't want your town to feel like parts of it to feel isolated. So I think the vaulting pole is like really smart.
And it just like really makes the town feel a lot bigger because that was one of the things I was concerned about when we first booted up the game is that it just felt really small,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be down with this, honestly. And then getting the vaulting pole, I was like, oh, this is actually big, and we still have the cliff tops to get up to. And I like that it kind of unfolds in these layers.
Yeah, because like that
Yeah,
original area that you start with, I feel like is almost for us. It was like a third of our town, and then once you get the vaulting pole, I felt like it was like another third opened up, and then I feel like after you could go up on the cliffs with the ladder, it was the last third.
that's exactly how I thought. And actually, I was actually astounded that they locked people into that first third for the first day, and
Yeah,
kind of wish they would have done it even a little bit slower because you can get to the cliffs by the third day.
yeah, yeah.
But it was cool to have the town kind of open up for you as you got those tools.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of was feeling the same way. Like I kind of wish they would have, as bad as I wanted to explore like the top cliffs and like across the river, I do wish they kind of would have delayed that a little bit. I
I
don't
don't
I don't know why.
I don't like waiting, so I was fine.
I know, but it was like I was in that same boat where I was like I want everything now, but like looking back, I kind of wish it was delayed.
Hmm. I feel satisfied, but I can see
I mean,
why.
I don't know.
it's a completely dumb complaint. I
Yeah,
realize that.
yeah,
It's just I guess it's me worrying that this feeling is of of newness every day is going to go away too quickly, even though
yeah.
in the history of Animal Crossing it's not happened. But I'm scared because I played.
I think that's where my fear is coming from also. Cause
Mm.
it's like I'm almost like you said, like you could unlock the cliff tops third day. I feel like that's a pretty like monumental thing if you're like only playing for 3 days. And it's like I'm afraid that like us playing for another week, it's already been out for 1 week, playing like another week, I'm like afraid like, oh, it's like am I gonna be running out of things to do?
I don't know. I think since customization is like my favorite thing to do, just in video games and I guess life in general, I love to customize things.
Yeah,
I still feel like I have a lot to do to
yeah.
make the town how I want it to look. So I'm not too worried.
I guess too like the big things that you can do to your town are kind of like in a way they're kind of time gated because like construction projects take a day and you also have to generate the bells to do that or the nook miles to do that, so
Yeah,
the game
I
kind
mean,
of has a way of delaying things artificially for you, but I don't know.
and so far it's done that really well as far as building buildings go, and then like getting your new neighbors at each a day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do want to aside because of that. That brings in my first like actual complaint about the game is the music is the same guitar loop until you unlock the town hall. The fact that I haven't gotten annoyed with it is the greatest compliment in the world.
Yeah,
But I love Animal Crossing music, and I've been listening to this bloody guitar for a week, and I get my town hall tomorrow, and my anticipation cannot be higher right now because I'm done with guitars.
yeah.
Yeah, cuz you do I'm pretty sure you get different music.
Well, yeah, like because today our town hall opened up today, and like that was one of the first things that like we noticed was there was a different little tune playing in the
Mhm.
afternoon, and that was some.
And it changes every hour.
That's okay.
Yes,
That's what I was gonna question because I remember in other games it would change like on the hour, and it would
Mhm.
just like that hour would be different music. And like Brock was saying, like before the town hall opened, it was the same music every single time I played, and I was like, am I not? Am I just playing at the same times? Like, what
Mhm.
is the deal? Like, why is the music not changing? But
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess I'm glad, I'm relieved in a way that we actually have some different music now.
And I mean, it's kind of smart too, because like it marks like the civilizing or whatever
Yeah,
of the island, so there's more variety happening. But also, when you get the town center or whatever, this might be spoilers, Brock. Do you want me to say this?
You get the town tune probably.
Well, I mean that, but there's something else, music related.
oh yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay. So you get the town hall, and Tom Nook is like really excited because the island is expanding,
he took his headphones off.
and he's like, "Yeah, it would be really great if KK Slider could play a concert here." And so, like, your goal is to get KK Slider to come play a concert at your island because it's gotten so popular or whatever. So, like, your new goal is music related.
Yeah,
And they also introduce new music, and
that's gonna be like the big celebration, like that your town is like officially a town,
yeah,
or your island is officially good to go.
yeah.
But once
Spoilers
again,
over.
that is a terrible complaint, and I actually have no complaints about this game. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's at least a noticeable thing because I noticed it too.
Sweet.
I want to talk about variety
Okay,
in this game.
about what?
I don't know what that means.
Well, there's a couple things. So, first thing is how you catch critters.
Okay.
Like, there's more ways to catch them
Yeah.
than in past games. Like, there's more areas that you can get certain types of fish or certain types of bugs. Um, like, for example, to get this certain kind of beetle, you have to chop a tree down and leave the stump, and it sits on the stump. Or you leave out trash and a fly sits on top of it,
Yeah.
and things like that, or rotten food.
Or like that cricket you have to dig up.
Yeah, you have to dig up the mole cricket. Um, at
Did you
least
figure this out yourself?
no.
I mean, some of them we just ran into, but
Yeah. And like fish, there's different sections. Like the cliff top pool is a
yeah,
section,
yeah,
waterfalls a section, river mouth, pond, etc. Sea, off the off the dock is
yeah.
one.
They all have different like pools of fish that you can get from those areas, which I
Mhm.
feel like is different than past games.
Mhm. I mean, you had like sections before, but I don't
There's
think there
more
were as
though.
many.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of cool. And also really frustrating because sometimes they bleed into each other and you get a lot of fish you don't want when you're looking for like a specific fish,
Yeah.
which is what we've been running into a lot recently.
But then again, if you're like me, who's the pure Animal Crossing player and doesn't look at any of this, it's completely normal to get 2,000 C plus bases or basses,
Yeah.
and that's Animal Crossing, right? I'm literally just running along my coast fishing because I'm not looking for anything.
Mhm.
So it's not a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah. And then another type of variety that I really have enjoyed is with the villagers, um, and all the different things you can see them doing.
Oh yeah.
For example, like I saw one of our villagers, Cookie, this little pink dog, eating a donut today. And then she did yoga. And, like, I've seen villagers changing clothes to work out
Yeah,
and
like we have
things like
this
that.
one bird named Jay who's like all the villagers are they fit under a certain personality type, and he is under the jock one.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always like talking about like working out and pumping iron, and he's like every time I see him he's carrying around like a barbell. He's like doing curls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's just like so weird.
I've got one of those who only talks about working out, and then all he does. So I wonder if that's on purpose.
All it is what?
All he does is sit around. I'm
Oh,
not
Oh,
like under trees.
that same guy does that also. So
yeah.
I don't know.
One
I
person.
definitely have like in past games, like the villagers become kind of dead to me because you get through all of the main things that they say and
Yeah.
then you don't care.
Hmm.
So far, they've had really interesting things to say, even when I sit there and talk to them.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long that's going to last. But like, I snapped you guys the "I suck" quote from one of my villagers
Yeah.
who's not my favorite. It was out of bloody nowhere. It was amazing. Basically, I talked to the what's one of my new villagers, and she said, "I am the worst person alive." Dot dot dot. I sent a note to Froggy over here, and I misspelled this word. I suck so bad. Like, I don't know. That was a terrible retelling of it, but it was hilarious.
Yes. Well, and I think it's been cool on our file because we had a bunch of people come to our island like one of the first days, and now the villagers will talk about those people that they interacted with. So it'll be like,
Brock has the coolest nickname.
yeah, it
It's
always talks about their titles and stuff.
Wild World Wanderer, whatever.
And like, um, it's funny because like when I get on, it'll be like, I saw Devin earlier today, and she was just moving all the trees around or like shaking all the trees. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder what she was doing. Which I don't know if they're if I don't know if Devin has to trigger something on her file, like actually shake trees to make them say that, or
Which
if
I
they just
do.
randomly say stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. They were telling me that you played forever and that you must really love the island, even though you really haven't played much today.
Which yeah, that's the thing that makes me like wonder like, do they just have preset things, or
Yeah.
is there something that triggers it?
But so far, they definitely seem, or I guess, a lot than I've noticed or I remembered the villagers being.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just funny when they're like saying stuff about your friends, and then like you can show your friends the things that they're saying.
Mhm. And I also like how at least the villagers that start out in your town, you can gradually see them making their own furniture, which is kind
Yeah.
of interesting. Like they start off really barren, and then like I saw Jay today had made like a dresser and a table and whatever. Whereas the villagers that kind of move into your town already have furniture, and like Tom Nook says they were promised fully furnished houses or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like the ones that start in tens kind of have to work their way up.
Hmm. Just like us.
Yeah. People that settled on the island.
And boy, my house is popping right now. I'm pretty proud of
that's
it.
that's a good transition to the fact that Tom Nook promises fully furnished houses because he asked you to do them, and how can you do? Because DIY exists,
Hmm.
Yep.
and I have DIY is the greatest invention for Animal Crossing that I've ever seen.
It's really
It
good.
fits so well. It
Like the entire crafting thing you're talking about? Like all
Yeah,
crafting?
literally all the entire system just works flawlessly in my mind
Yeah.
because it gives you more stuff to do in farming resources. It gives you more options for furniture, like to unlock furniture, but you don't get it immediately because you have to craft. And yeah, that's really it. But I've really enjoyed just DIY stuff in general, I guess.
I really liked that as well, and I really like that you can customize it too with like different upholstery or different paint colors or what have you. Some
Yeah.
of the plants you can change the plants color, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like very Walmart spray painting their plants.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been really fun to get all these different items that you can make yourself. Um, I've been saving up for like this shell fountain or whatever that I just found today.
Yeah.
Some neat stuff. It's how I got my bamboo slide or noodle slide.
Noodle
Nice.
slide.
And actually, today was the first day that I started like customizing my own furniture because I got a second room, and I realized that it's really going to help when there's furniture that I like, but the color doesn't fit within like my room's
Yeah.
colors
Yeah.
or my
Yeah.
favorite. Because that was a reason that I wouldn't use certain furniture, but now most of that you can change. So like, if I like the furniture, I could probably make it fit a
Hmm.
lot better and not have, an ugly orange seat because that was the default or whatever.
Right. One thing I do find frustrating about the DIY though, which is like it's to be expected and it's really not that big of a deal, but like there are some recipes that require other furniture made via DIY. Like we have this kitchenette
Oh yeah.
where it requires you to have like an ironwood sink or something and a cutting board. And we don't have either of those recipes, so we can't make it. And it looks really cool and I want it really bad, but I can't because we don't have those specific recipes to make it.
Yeah, that is kind of like a weird thing because all the other recipes that I feel like we've come across, you at least can make the base thing and then turn those into something more elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like now it's just like a waiting game. It's just a kind of like RNG of, are we gonna find these recipes? Are we gonna find the correct furniture pieces to be able to make these? And I'm wondering how many more pieces of furniture are similar.
And one thing I
Sure.
also thought was annoying was Blake and I share a town because we only have one Switch. And Blake played first, which is totally fine, but he was the one that's like
Oh,
kind
it's
of in.
totally fine.
It's totally fine. um, but because he started the town, he's kind of like the one in charge. He was the one in charge of like putting furniture into the new houses that were being built for incoming villagers. And you got certain DIY furniture that I did not receive.
Yeah, that part is not good at all.
Yeah, that was going to be a separate topic for me because I haven't had to deal with that, so I don't know anything. We
Hmm.
can jump into that. Two player on the same island. How does it work?
It's like one person's the mayor, and the other person's just kind of there, living in your island or whatever.
So, like real life, got it.
Yeah.
It's like the person that starts the island mainly can decide like where big like the important buildings go,
Mhm.
and then like the other person can't really like contribute to the buildings
Mhm.
unless like you kind of like do a weird trading thing.
Mhm. Like I would provide a lot of the materials because I was just like gathering a bunch of them anyway, and then you would build the furniture, and then you would give your controller to me, and be like, place this item wherever you think it should go.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's just weird, and I wish I had those recipes because some of them I would like to have, but
Sure.
So it's
It
yeah, I
probably
mean
does.
like it's just weird that Tom Nook kind of gives you like what seems like these basic recipes because they're the basic pieces of furniture that are supposed to be going in the villagers' houses that are yet to move in, but only one person gets those recipes, and
mm-hmm.
like they don't go to the little Nook terminal or anything, and they don't
Sure.
go into like Timmy and Tommy's shop or anything. So it's
Mm-mm.
just like there's not really a good way to get the recipes that the other player is just given for free.
Yeah, I feel like if you're residents of the same island, you should be able to share recipes with each other or something, or you should just be given everything equally.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm sure if you weren't working, able to like work together with the person that's sharing the island, like parents and kids, that would also be a big hassle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like people. Well, and it's like like the only thing I really have to compare it to is New Leaf. In New Leaf, when you start a file, you get your own separate town. Wait, do you?
No.
No, you don't.
Mm-mm.
Never mind. That's a bad example. Um, I guess they've all kind of been like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. Because, like I said, Blake usually just gives me the controller. It's like, put this wherever you want.
Yeah,
Um,
like it's easy because like I guess like we have been kind of working together, but I can see like people that aren't working. They don't want to. They don't have the same vision for a town or their island to like really get frustrated with each other,
mm-hmm.
or like I don't know, like like what we've been doing is like you have the app where you can call in a second player basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One person has to be the leader, and the other person just kind of follows them around. And it does get kind of frustrating because the second player, any items that you pick up go not into your inventory or the player that's the leader's inventory, but they go into the recycling bin.
I also
So,
haven't been able to use any of my tools when we do that, if I'm the second player.
oh, I didn't even try.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, let's say I'm first player and Devin's second player. I have the recipes, she doesn't, but she has all the material.
Yeah.
We have to swap leader to her. She has to drop her material on the ground. She has to swap leader to me. I have to pick up the materials. I have to build the stuff. And then I drop the stuff on the ground that I just made. And then we swap leaders again.
And I pick
Devin
it
can
up.
pick it up. And then she can place it or do whatever.
Yeah, it's not the most streamlined thing. I think just like,
It'd be hard to do, though, because it's like when you open up your inventory, like it takes up the entire screen.
yeah.
So it'd be like if people are trying to open up inventory like on the same Switch, like I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah. I don't
Color
know,
code the
just the.
inventories and only allow one person to do it. I mean,
I don't know. So it's like I'm glad that they did it so that you can play with two people on the same console, but it does have some downfalls, I think.
Yeah, I think the multiplayer is kind of like the biggest hiccup for me. Both, like, playing on the same Switch together and also playing with friends online. Just because, like, I don't really feel like there's a lot to do. Other than just, like, show your island to people or trade fruit or flowers. Um,
I
like,
agree, but at the same time, like, how is it any different from just, Animal Crossing? And I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of a make your own fun type situation.
yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It's like I feel like Animal Crossing like multiplayer it's just kind of like you have to make your own fun or it's kind of like in a way you're playing like house basically
Mm-hmm.
playing like with like a dollhouse which I mean which Animal Crossing basically is but you just make up your own thing or it's
Mm-hmm.
like here come check out my town like
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is it cool is it not
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess since we're talking about online, kind of, um, one of the things that they do have in this game that is surprising, actually, is the best friends concept.
yeah
When you first visit an island, you can add them to your Nook phone as a best, and that allows you to see when they're online, and you get a notification. It also allows you to send individual messages to them, which somehow made it into Animal Crossing and not any other Nintendo. And it's extremely useful. I found it so. Even though typing like messages on the keyboard on the Switch, which there's an alternative to that, even though that sucks, you can at least say things like, "Is it raining?" If
yeah
you want to find a fish that's in the rain. What does your store have? And just short messages like that is really useful to determine like, should I open my gate and have someone? And that's been a godsend.
yeah
And
Mm-hmm.
to make it even better is you can type those messages the Nintendo app and then not even deal with the key. And in which case, and that works flawlessly. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's just like so easy just to do the online in general. It's like literally go to your airport, open up your gate if you want people, say you want to fly if you want to go to someone else's, and they need to have their gate open. It's like that's it.
Yeah.
There's
The
it's,
one thing, yeah, the one thing I wish is that the Nook phone showed you whose gates was open. That
yeah,
would be,
that would be that is one thing that would be helpful.
Hmm.
but I think that's probably on purpose because they don't want you just, randomly dropping in. But
Yeah,
I
that kind
would
of
if
happened
I didn't do
yesterday.
that.
Randomly dropping in happened yesterday, and I was kind of annoyed about it. It's
Well, I
like,
mean, it's like if you don't want people, then just shut the gate.
well, yeah, but I was expecting someone else, and then another person came
Oh,
in. Yeah.
okay. That is. I wonder if you can somehow change that.
I don't know.
You cut out, but I'm guessing you had someone you were expecting visit while you were waiting on someone you were expecting.
Yeah.
You could have open it just to best friends, I think,
Hmm.
not, and then have the other person only as,
Well, I'm best friends
switch.
with both people.
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm
well,
best friends
choose
with
your
like
friend.
everyone I play with.
Choose your friends better.
Yeah.
I know.
That reminds me of another half love. Um, this is the first time in Animal Crossing where I've been able to send letters to other people, and as someone who loves sending letters, favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Because just like in real life, getting a letter in Animal Crossing gives you like that thrill. Hey, I have a letter.
Yeah.
Now I can do that for people, and I can attach stupid furniture that I want. That's great.
That is true. When you are writing a letter, do you have to do it with the in-game keyboard, or can you somehow use the Nintendo app integration?
No, you can't, which does kind of suck, but I
Yeah.
guess this will transition to other things. It's it makes me take more time, but it feels more like Animal Crossing if I'm typing it in
Yeah.
slowly.
I mean, it's more like personalized. It's more intimate.
Yeah.
It's
And
it's like donating stuff to the museum, which sucked and sucks less in this game. But I expect to talk to Blathers like 40,000 times and get 1,000 prompts
Yeah.
to donate all my crap because that's Animal Crossing, and
Yeah.
I'm not even mad about it.
It is kind of interesting, like the the things that we've just become accustomed to that are like we're just okay with because it's like, oh yeah, Blathers is gonna talk a lot, so just be prepared.
they've given him options to talk more, which I thought was funny. Like if
Like
you
what?
like, do you want to hear some facts about this bug? Like you can have him just say some facts to you about the bug.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you can do that only if you donate one. You can't do that for all the bugs you donate. So I
Oh
have to
yeah.
donate everything individually.
Yeah, I did
Whereas you're
notice
like,
that.
shut up, Blathers. I want to hear this crap.
Yeah. Blathers, the museum in general
It's
looks
so
awesome. Like
good.
all the
It,
sections look awesome.
it's like the freaking museum team said, "Oh, you're building like a game around this. This
Yeah,
game,
Mhm. What's your favorite section of the museum?
the dinosaurs by far."
same.
Ugh. Mine's like the main bug section, like the little river that winds through it, because the fish can interact too. Like the
Yeah,
koi
that's
are
cool
swimming
how they
around,
tied that in.
and it looks like a little outdoor space.
I
And the
like
butterfly area is really beautiful too.
my favorite part about the fossil uh, area is
The last room.
the like lineage tree that's like going through the whole thing and it's showing how like things have evolved and stuff. And then like you get to the very last room and it shows like the most recent stuff and it has the villagers
Mhm.
on the top. That's just and then like it has a one space and you can have your villager walk into the space and like the light shines on you. That's like the coolest thing.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I noticed that it was like the lineage thing. Thought that was cool because it's like a real museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's certain spots where if you stand there, it gives you like either a different vantage point or like something special happens. And in that room, if you stand in the last space, a light shines on you,
Yeah.
like you're part of the exhibit.
Yeah.
Or like those blue circles, if you stand on those on the floor, then you get a different vantage point.
Right. Yeah, the museum. It's the first time I will go back into the museum stuff that I've donated instead of just checking it off a list and saying, "Oh, it's there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely found myself just like walking through it just to look at it and see like what bugs are flying around, what fish are in what tanks, and
Well, because a lot of things change when you actually donate it. Like
Mhm.
a lot of the a lot of the exhibits are just empty when there's nothing in them. But when you put a bug or a fish that matches that criteria, like it gets filled out with like plants and other things, so it feels less empty. It's not just
Yeah.
an empty case; it has actually other things in it.
And I love that it just looks like a real museum.
Yeah.
Like one area in particular was in the bug section in the backmost room. They have like a little prep area.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which was really interesting, and I like the variety in which they, you know, display the bugs either in like contained glass cases or out in the open or in the specific butterfly garden.
Yeah.
One thing I really appreciated in the aquarium was specifically the river fish area or the freshwater fish area, because they had like the backmost tank set up like a river and like salmon swimming upstream and things like that, and the different parts of the river. And I don't know, it looks like a lot of love went into that. That was a labor of love for sure.
Yeah, and whenever you read any of the plaques, it follows around that bug or that
Yeah.
fish, so you can,
That part's cool.
which I don't think you could ever do that
I don't
before.
think so either,
reading
yeah.
the plaques was useless because you didn't know which one.
Yeah, I
I
think
think,
in the past games it would just list out what was in there, and that was it. But yeah, now that
right.
it actually follows the thing around, it's awesome.
I respect them for getting rid of the art section.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you feel about the art being gone?
I thought it was the most annoying thing in the world to have to collect all of the art, and I'd have to look up online like which one's the real one, how can I tell the difference, and you only get it like once a week.
It was so annoying.
It was so tedious and annoying. But I do wonder, or Brock, do you have opinions?
As someone who's not a completionist, having to collect, so I never found it annoying. But at the same time, I'm not gonna. So
Do you know how? Did you ever hear, Brock, about how artwork worked in New Leaf?
No, no idea.
Basically, like, Red the fox would come to your town and set up like a tent, very what seemed like rarely, and you would have 4 art pieces. 3 of them would be counterfeit, and only 1 would be real. And
it was just like a tiny difference.
And you could only buy 1 at a time.
Yeah.
So if you bought the counterfeit one, it was just like
you were out of luck for that.
Till next time.
Yeah.
They were all based off real life pieces of art. So, the counterfeits always had like something kind of glaringly wrong, but you'd have to know what the original piece looked like to know.
Sure, so you'd have to look it up online, figure out what painting it was.
I mean, you'd either look it up, or if you wanted to be like kind of true to the game without looking anything up, like you'd have to get lucky, or you'd have to know art really well.
Yeah, most of them you'd have to look up online. Some of them I knew just because I go to school for art, like Nike of Samothrace, which is like this statue of a woman with angel wings and the head's missing. Like the difference for that one would be it would have bat wings instead of angel wings or something like that.
Sure. But yeah, I guess in the long term, it's not going to matter to me. Probably not to most people if it was that annoying, because
Hmm.
how most people played it.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if there's going to be something added at the top of the stairs right when you walk in, because it seems like a weird area to have stairs go up to, only to lead to nothing.
Yeah.
And I
That's
wonder,
exactly.
I wonder if it'll be like another museum shop
Yeah. New Leaf had a
or
museum shop that opened up that you could buy stuff at. I don't know if this one will or not.
Oh, because there used to be a cafe in Wildwood. I remember that now.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Um,
possible. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I know the cafe was a separate building in New Leaf, but I don't know. We also met Celeste walking around our town last night, and she was talking about like um
Shooting
different.
stars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she likes stars, and I wonder if it'll be like an astronomy exhibit or something like
Ooh, that'd
that.
be cool.
Yeah,
Like at the top,
yeah,
like an observatory type
yeah.
thing. That'd be so awesome.
Did you? Did she not give you anything?
She gave you a recipe for a magic wand.
Okay.
Have you heard anything about that?
No. So I literally just went through this before we started doing
Okay.
this. And
Yeah.
I annoyed at myself because the first day I sit stars for a couple minutes and thought, oh, this is pretty. I'm glad they added this in, and didn't know that you could do anything with it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, they don't really tell you anything. They just Star Wars recipe and say, uh, yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah.
If you inspect the recipe, it tells you what it does.
Hmm.
Don't tell me. I wasn't that smart.
Okay.
But I don't know. Blake said that he heard like a little sparkly, twinkly noise and looked up to see if there was a shooting star and pressed A to make a wish.
I didn't
And
see anything though.
yeah, you
I only
didn't
heard
see
the
anything.
noise.
I haven't heard the noise yet. I was just staring up at the sky for a while, pressing A, but nothing happened. But he said that if one happens, another might happen right after.
Yeah.
Can validate that from experience.
Hmm.
But since we're just randomly flowing through topics, you mentioned the fact that you can and look up. That has been like I know all Animal Crossing games are about the same way with sound, where like the balloons make a faint wind noise, I
Mm-hmm.
guess,
Yeah.
that you notice. Bugs you make a little bit of a noise, stuff like that. Like it's probably the same as every other game, but it still works so well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like it doesn't detract from like the peacefulness of just being around in your town, but it
Hmm.
alerts you to things if you're actually paying.
Yeah. It's just like subtle audio clues.
Right. One of
Right.
the things that I think works the best at that is the mole cricket that we talked about earlier, where it sounds like it's just crickets chirping, like ambient noise at night, but the sound gets like louder or fainter depending on how close to the mole cricket you are. And the closer you are, you start digging and you can find the mole cricket. And I thought that
Yeah.
was really cool.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't found any mole crickets. I actually have caught like three bugs because apparently first bug catcher alive. I Yeah.
Have you been bitten by
Ooh,
a tarantula yet?
I have been bitten by at least 12 tarantulas.
Nice.
So that's another good thing that they added. The tarantulas that kill you and the bees that can actually make you faint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an actual death and it doesn't actually affect you, but it gives you just a tiny bit of a rush, like,
Yeah.
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 and it's perfect. Like, I just love that there's something that happens at
Mm-hmm.
night and you have to pay attention to it. You want to pay attention to it instead
Right.
of just, meandering around.
Yeah.
I like stuff happening. That's the theme of this review, and stuff happens in this game.
Have you been into any of the random Nook Mile islands?
Yeah, I've probably been to about 10 of them.
So I got an island where it was just full of tarantulas. Have you been to that one?
No, I saw your Snapchat.
Yeah,
It only
so
happens at night.
I think it only happens at night, and it's just like an island, and it has a ring of water in the center. And you have to hop over the water to get to like the center area, and the center area just spawns tarantulas nonstop.
I don't know if you saw that, but I just shivered, and that was exactly why. Um, cool.
So
I'm
I
glad they're like different islands.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's like I feel like there's rare islands, and I think that's like one of them. So I
Mm.
just I literally stayed there and got bit like a million times, but I filled my inventory up with tarantulas.
That's some
they
big
sell
money.
for like
They
5K,
they
don't
sell
they?
for 8,000 each,
Nice.
and I've one expanded row of inventory, so I have three rows. Um,
Another topic.
yeah.
Oh, you can keep going. But
I thought you were gonna expand on that. But no, I just I was just surprised that I found that island and I made big bucks because I stayed there and just farmed tarantulas.
Mm.
yeah, I so far I feel like I've hit the same Nook Miles Island a couple times, which is fine, I guess. So I was
Yeah,
many. I'm glad at least there's the tarantula. The bamboo one was exceedingly hard for me to get to somehow. Like I said, I've used like 15 tickets and finally got.
yeah, I think that's probably a rare one.
I only got the one with a villager once. I know.
Oh, really?
We've gotten
Yeah.
three, but we haven't seen. It was three in a row.
Wait, how many villager? Do you have all three villagers moving into your town?
Yeah. So the Nook Miles Island Witcher happened before I had any extra. So
Say that one more
I
time.
had
You
my
cut
two.
out.
The Nook Miles Island with villager
Yeah.
happened when I just had my two original villagers.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to him and said, and then I started building houses. So that villager took the first house.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have five.
You didn't find your two other villagers on random islands?
No, they were just random people.
Oh,
They just came to your town?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
not how it worked for us. The
Yeah.
first three Nook Islands that we went to had villagers
Yeah,
on
they all
them.
had people on them.
It was
And then
Boomer, Bee, and Cookie.
and now those are all our three that we had move in.
But we haven't seen villagers since.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not me. Maybe I'm dumb.
I don't know. No idea.
No, because I hated one of the people on one of those islands and didn't talk to them, and they're so yeah.
It could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
I think you actually had to ask them to move in when you
Yeah.
saw them. So
Right. Huh. Well,
don't know.
anyway, the topic we haven't said anything about were Nook Miles and the Nook Mile guy.
I like them. I like them a lot.
It reminds me a lot of the quick reward philosophy of Super Mario Odyssey. It's just giving you something every 10 minutes because you're awesome,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which I don't hate because you do actually do, but you do get them very, very Mike, and I'm kind of worried that I'm going to stop caring about them very soon because of that.
So I mean, I like them mainly for the reason that they give you. They kind of point you in a direction, I guess, of what you want to do, what you can do. Like where they provide structure at least. Like you can at least like go into your little catalog of Nook Miles. Like you know the part where you're basically like getting stamps or whatever, and they give you Nook
Yeah,
Miles. It's like your achievements kind of. Like you can at least have a purpose in mind Because a lot of times, like when I get on Animal Crossing or something, it's just like I want to get on Animal Crossing, but I don't really know what I want to do. I want to do something in my town, but I don't really know what. So they give you direction, but yeah, mine mine have kind of tapered off a lot. I feel like after I did a lot of the like first original things to get like a ton of Nook miles, now it's like they seem like they're coming in very slowly. I'm only getting them
Okay.
from like the Nook Plus miles,
I
which
don't
are
know.
different.
I'm kind of racking them up every day.
Yeah.
You're also playing a
I
lot.
Yeah.
I I have 20,000 of them, so I felt like
Jeez,
that
Yeah.
was a lot.
that is a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I get quite a bit every day. And especially with the town hall opening up, you get more stuff added.
You get a ton of stuff that you can get for expensive prices at once
Yeah.
you get the town hall,
Hmm.
It's good to know. Can't
and
wait till.
you can and a feature opens up where you can actually exchange Nook miles for bells.
Hmm.
Okay. Suddenly, I'm perfectly okay with that because that is
And I think the conversion rate is like
3,000 per ticket. 3,000 bells per ticket, which is 500 Nook miles.
yeah, so 500 Nook miles nets you 3,000 bells.
at least that means that your Nook miles was, and that's kind of what I was worrying about.
Yeah. Well, cuz when at the very beginning, kind of like the tutorial where you have to get the whatever it is like 2,000 Nook miles to pay off your house, your original debt. I was like thinking, am I going to be able to pay off like future rent payments with Nook miles,
Hmm.
or like is there going to be some sort of conversion rate, or like is are these going to be interchangeable? But I do like how they let you exchange them for bells now.
Hmm.
And actually, that's a question I had. So, you, the cool thing in the beginning is the stuff you can unlock with Nook Miles is totally unique, like the customizable phone case, or the tool wheel,
Yeah,
whatever it's. I know we're getting the clothing wheel eventually.
yeah,
Um, and then since I bought all of that stuff, now I've gotten two new DIY recipes for fences these
yeah.
last 2 days, and they seem to be random types of fences, maybe.
That's how
Hmm.
ours seem to be.
Okay, so I guess I'm hoping that keeps up for a while, and we keep getting like different, unique rewards in there
Hmm.
Right.
instead of it just being like Nook T-shirts and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like that our town hall's opened up and that stuff is still in there. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I do like the whole little catalog thing though. The little terminal.
Hmm.
How like if you log in each day, you get Nook miles. You can pay off your loan there. You can purchase things with Nook miles, and there's also like random stuff for sale every day that you
And you
can buy with
can
bells.
and you can buy things you've bought previously that isn't like a rare
Yeah,
type of item or
in the
whatever.
catalog.
So like if you need four chairs for a table, you can get four of the same chair.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how I play Animal Crossing. I go buy out the store so I get cattle, and then if I realize I actually want the thing, I go buy it from the cattle.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Do you not do that?
No.
I mean, some.
Whoa.
I mean, like some of the stuff I just like know in my head. I'm like, I don't. I will never use this.
Like outdoor air conditioning unit. I don't care.
I mean, like that's where like the completionist part of me kind of like slips away, where I'm just like, I don't need to do completionist on the catalog.
I just want things to look cute. So if it's not cute, I'm not gonna get it.
So you probably cute workbench that I got today. It's
Probably.
very big. It is super big.
Ugh, probably.
Well, your next schedule let not for a while, but I know we'll be in it.
Nice.
Well,
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 we
We've
put a
covered a
well in our
lot.
town.
we did put a well in our town, right where
Wait, you
I'm
can?
envisioning the campsite.
Campsite.
Yeah, we're getting a campsite tomorrow. Wait, have we built the campsite?
Yeah,
Did you put it where I wanted it?
in the top left.
Did you? You didn't
I
consult
probably
me?
didn't put it where you wanted
Oh my
it.
god! That's fine. I'll make it work.
The troubles of having one island.
And then I can move my picnic spot behind my house to the campsite area. So I can
Perfect.
actually- oh
It'll all
my
work
God.
out.
But yeah, I put a well up there so that like villagers could collect water because there's no like pond source right next to them.
You know, my dolls
Right.
can play how they need to play.
I mean, well watered. Water's very important. Village would probably die out.
It's very true.
You'd wake up one day and all crap,
Right.
gasping.
Messed up.
Gasping for air.
Sandy water.
Well, is there anything else we want to hit on? Anything big we missed?
I wish you could
Fencing what?
place fences diagonally.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So I have
That'd
no
be
idea
cool.
how I'm gonna make my baseball field, which is an actual thing I'm trying to figure out how to. But it doesn't work if your fences can only go right in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'd have to have the perception of your baseball field skewed.
Yeah.
Oh, I know we haven't talked about the patterns design thing, which I have used way more than I ever have.
The what
Um,
designs?
The patterns.
the custom patterns.
Oh, yeah.
I tried making our town
You
flag
can.
today and it was atrocious, so.
Yep.
I already have a design, but I love that you can put them on a bunch of different. I don't think you could, like a hoodie, a tank top, a dress, flowy dress, different type of dress, this other type of dress. Yeah,
Yeah.
and a bunch of different types of hats. And each of these patterns, I guess, for some the thing. So like the hat has the front instead of it all just being one. So that allows you to do a lot more than you could when it just in previous games I played, just layered pattern along the thing.
Yeah, like on
Right.
the shirts and stuff, you can actually, like, customize the sleeves and stuff, which is awesome.
Exactly. So I've been making literally one piece of my own like a day just because it's fun. So I have a bunch of my hoodies in the game just because I can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it works remarkably well.
Yeah, you can. It's crazy the stuff you can make now, which I've like looked up some patterns like online just to see what other people are making, and they're making like the most intricate things. It's just like
Mhm.
crazy.
One used for the face paint that I didn't think of before because the face paint, I don't like how it's split up. It looks really strange. But my friend like made freckles for her,
Yeah,
and then she also made like a Sailor Moon like moon on her forehead
I
and
saw people like were. I guess I don't know if I didn't take a good look at the villager, but people are like they don't have eyebrows, so they were using the face paint to make eyebrows on them
oh,
and
yeah.
like makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally the reason why my figure out how to have eyebrows.
Yeah.
And
My favorite custom design I've seen was a top hat that Blake showed me today where somebody made it look like flan, which I thought was, and it looked incredibly like flan. It was great.
Yeah.
Another one was a stack of pancakes.
Yeah.
It was great.
It looked literally like a stack of pancakes, and then like
Yeah.
the rim of the hat was the plate.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yeah. It was nuts.
It is good. Someday I'll reach those levels.
There will be a lot more. I'm just like waiting for the people to like go ham with customization.
I honestly have never felt more ashamed of myself being an artist than I have today trying to customize our flag. It was really bad.
It was pretty bad. I was
Do you
like,
know anything about mixology?
No.
you need to get to learning.
Well, I'll Snapchat you my amazing flag noon to, and you can
You can take some
get
notes.
some ideas.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. I'll be thinking. Well, I think that's it for me.
Yeah. All I know is I'm going to be playing this game for a long time, it looks like.
I'm going to be playing this game instead of doing my remote online classes.
Yep.
I'm so scared to see how much I played. The thing actually shows how I played. I'm very terrified.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's time well spent.
It is because I'm not doing my job, which I have to do at home for a
Nah.
reason. What?
Well, we'll continue playing Animal Crossing, and hopefully it doesn't get stale very quick, you know?
Fingers crossed.
I don't think it
Next episode,
will. Yeah,
Animal
next
Crossing.
episode. Man, I'm tired
This
of this
game
game.
sucks.
When's the next one coming out? All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. This is Fourshade Studios podcast, episode number 31. You can find the podcast on all the places you can find podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, etc.